Hey everyone, my name is Riley, and in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the key differences between an LLC and a sole proprietorship. If you are thinking about starting a business, one of the first decisions that you'll have to make is choosing the right business structure. Like, do you keep things simple with a sole proprietorship, or do you form an LLC for extra protection and credibility? This isn't always an obvious choice, and choosing the wrong one could cost you more in taxes, legal fees, or liability risks later down the line. So in this video, I'm going to cover what an LLC and sole proprietorship actually are, the key differences between them, which one is better for different types of businesses, the costs, taxes, legal protections, and everything that goes into both of these. And by the end of the video, you'll have a clear answer on which is the best for you. Before we dive in, I want to let you know that if you do decide to go with the LLC route, I've partnered with one of the best LLC formation services out there, which helps take care of all of the paperwork and filings for you. Forming an LLC comes with several costs, including state filing fees, registered agent services, and other optional expenses like business licenses, and you can see a breakdown of these costs on screen. On top of this, if you do want to go down the LLC route, I'll introduce you to my recommended LLC formation service that handles everything for you. They also provide unlimited phone and email support, so if you ever run into legal or compliance questions later on, you'll have expert guidance just a phone call away. As a quick disclaimer, I am an affiliate of the service that I will be recommending, so if you do use them, I will earn a small commission at no extra cost to you. So let's get started with what actually is a sole proprietorship. This is the simpler of the two business structures, and essentially a sole proprietorship is an unincorporated business that is owned and run by one person. So with a sole proprietorship, there is no paperwork required to form it. If you just start selling your products or services, you're automatically a sole proprietor. It is also the easiest and cheapest way to start a business, and you have complete control over your business decisions. Let's take as an example, you start a small freelance graphic design business from home. You don't file any special documents. You are immediately and automatically a sole proprietor. You make money, you pay taxes as a part of your personal income, and you don't have to register a business entity. With that being said though, there is one big downside to a sole proprietorship, and that is the fact that there is no legal separation between you and your business. So this is where an LLC is going to come in. So an LLC, or a limited liability company, is a separate legal entity from its owner. So what this means is your personal assets, so things like your car, your house, your savings, anything that is yours, these are protected if the business gets sued or if it falls into debt. An LLC also gives your business more credibility. People are going to see it as a real company rather than just an individual. And finally, it can also offer tax advantages depending on how you structure it. For an example of an LLC, let's say you open a small bakery. As an LLC, if somebody slips and falls in your shop and decides to sue, they can't come after your personal assets or your house or your car because only the business assets are at risk. If you were a sole proprietor, they could sue you personally and they could take your personal assets. Now, let's break it down side by side so you can see the differences clearly. So these are the key differences between an LLC and a sole proprietorship. So the first is liability protection. With a sole proprietorship, there is none. Your personal assets are completely at risk. With an LLC, this protects your personal assets if your business is sued. The next thing is business name protection. So once again, with a sole proprietorship, there is nothing here. You have no exclusive rights to your business name and somebody else can register it. With an LLC, your business name is legally protected in your state, so in the state that you form the LLC in. The next difference is going to be tax and financials. So with a sole proprietorship, all profits are taxed as personal income, and you are going to pay self-employment taxes on everything. With an LLC, on the other hand, you have much more tax flexibility. You can choose to be taxed as a sole proprietor, you can choose to be taxed as a partnership, or even as an S-Corp to reduce taxes even further. Another big difference between these two business structures is the credibility and growth potential. So as a sole proprietor, because this is unincorporated and isn't an official business, it's going to be much harder to get business loans and grants and investors. Whereas with an an LLC, because you have an actual more legitimate business, it's much easier to get funding. So those are the main key differences. And the next thing that we are going to be taking a look at is the costs that go into both an LLC and a sole proprietorship. So a sole proprietorship is very, very easy. It's essentially completely free. The only thing you might have to pay for is certain business licenses and permits. So I would just do a quick Google search for your specific niche and see if there is anything here that you need in terms of licenses and permits. If there isn't, then a sole proprietorship is completely free. With an LLC, on the other hand, there are a few costs that go into this. Things like state filing fees. This really varies by state, but it's going to cost you anywhere between $40 and $50 depending on your state. We also have annual fees, which once again is going to depend on your state. Most of them are going to be zero. You don't usually have to pay annual fees, but some states are going to charge up to $800 in annual fees for having an LLC. Another thing that goes into an LLC as well is going to be a registered agent. This is somebody who is in charge of the legal and tax documents for your business. And although you can stand as a registered agent yourself, it is recommended to get a company to do this for you to make sure that you are up to date and you are compliant with everything. So with all of that being said, if you are wondering which one of these business structures is right for you, I would choose a sole proprietorship if you are just starting a small side hustle and you just want to keep things simple. I would also start a sole proprietorship if you don't plan on taking business debt or major financial risks. And finally, I would stick with a sole proprietorship if you're okay with paying self-employment taxes on all of your earnings. Now, with an LLC, I would choose to form an LLC if you want to protect your personal assets from lawsuits and debts. This is a huge one. I would also form an LLC if you want to save taxes as your income grows, and also if you want your business to appear more professional and credible. For most businesses, an LLC is going to be a better option because of the legal protection and tax advantages. But if you're running a small, low-risk business or just a small side hustle, a sole proprietorship might be enough. If you do decide to start an LLC, I highly recommend using bizee to handle your LLC formation. The reason for this is they handle everything for you in terms of making sure you are compliant and legal. They also give you a free registered agent, which, if you remember, this is the person that is responsible for the legal documents in your business. And with bizee, you also get unlimited phone and email support if you have any questions. So if you do want to go with an LLC and you're ready to make this official, let's jump into my screen and I will show you how you can get your LLC formed with bizee right now. Now, to get started with bizee, all you have to do is click on the top link in the description and it's going to take you over to this page. And once you are on this page, all we have to do is click on this orange button that says form your LLC now. So we can click into this. And then in this area, we just want to select the entity type, which is of course going to be an LLC. And then we just want to go ahead and select the state we are going to form this in. So I'm going to select California for now. And as you can see in here, we have the bizee pricing, and then we have the mandatory state fee that you have to pay to the state. So the state fee is going to change depending on the state you are in. As you can see, Connecticut is a little bit more expensive. Florida is $125. You get the idea. But the bizee plans are all going to remain the same. The one that I recommend going for with bizee is going to be this standard plan right here. And the reason that I recommend this is we get all of these standout features from bizee. So using this, bizee will prepare and file the articles of organization. They will give us a free registered agent for the first year. They will sort out our EIN business tax number for us. This is essentially like the social security number for your business. So this is required for opening bank accounts, hiring employees, filing taxes. So getting one of these is absolutely necessary. They will also sort the operating agreement for us. And the most important thing on here, I would say, is the phone and email support. The reason for this is because at any point, if you have any questions surrounding the legalities of your business, you can just give them a call and they will answer questions. So this is the one that I recommend. We can select standard right here and then click get started. And then from here, we then want to start filling out this company information. So we just go in and we want to type the LLC name right here. I'm going to call this Holden North. And then we can see if this is available because it has this check mark here. So this is available. So we just want to go ahead and click on next. They will then ask if we want to pay an extra $50 for expedited filing time. So if you really need your LLC formed as soon as possible, you can pay this. But I'm just going to skip this. I'm happy with 3 weeks. So we can go next. We can then fill out our information, the main contact person who is setting this up. So enter in your details right here. And then once this has been entered, we can go ahead and click on next. From here, we can then choose if we want to use our own address or if we want to use bizee's professional business address. The difference between these is, as it says right here, if we go for the own address, your residential address, the one that you provide and the one that you use, is going to be listed publicly. So this is a more common way of going around this if we are using a service like bizee, because this protects your privacy. So this is only $29 per month. This is fantastic value. And the way this works, this is the address that will be shown publicly, and all of your mail will be sent there. And then bizee will take this, they will scan it into a computer, and then they will send you it across to your email. So we can select this right here, and then we can go down and enter in your contact address. So even though we are filling in your contact address, if we use this virtual address, once again, your personal address will not be public. So once we have entered this in, we can then go ahead and click on next. From here, bizee will then offer us this upsell. So this is completely up to you. This is definitely not necessary. But with this, we get a contract library of 25 different contacts. We get expedited filing, the faster time to file your LLC, and we also get a business phone number. So it's up to you if you want to add this on, but for now, I'm just going to say no thanks. And in here, this is where we can add the members that are going to be a part of this LLC. So everybody who's going to be involved, we want to go down and select how many members the LLC is going to have. I'm just going to say this is for me. I will be the only person. And then we can go ahead and autofill this by checking this box. Then we just want to go down and once again click on next. And in here, this is where bizee are going to offer us the registered agent for free for the first year. So I definitely recommend accepting this. This is a fantastic offer, and it's definitely worth having a third-party registered agent because it really does help with the legalities and compliance of your business. So we can take them up on this offer right here and just select this. Click on next. And this is where we can apply for our EIN or tax identification number. So this is the one that I said is essentially like the social security number of your business. And this is necessary for opening bank accounts, filing taxes, everything like this. So all we want to do is go down here and enter in our information. And then we have the option to either select from an ITIN or a social security number in order to obtain this EIN. So with an ITIN, this is the one I wouldn't recommend because this takes up to 12 weeks to obtain. So you can use this if you don't really mind about waiting that 12 weeks, but a social security number is going to get you this faster. So we can enter all of that in and then we just scroll down and click on next. bizee will then ask if you want to use their partners for your business banking. So with this, what I would say is, once again, this is not necessary, but it does make it a little bit easier because everything will be in one place. So I'm not going to set this up now. I'm just going to say, ask me later. And we also get offered a free consultation for a tax strategy. So with this, there are no strings attached. So there's really no point in rejecting this or not taking them up on this offer. So we can go ahead and select yes, I would like to receive the business tax consultation. And then we can click on next right here. We can then see that for this business in Florida, there is 2 licenses that we are going to potentially need. Once again, this is going to change based on your industry and your state. So if we want to get these, we can get bizee to essentially sort this out for us and mail the applications, or we can do the work for ourselves, figure out what these licenses are and what we need, and we can fill them out that way. And of course, that is going to be free. So we can select whichever one we would like and then click on next. On this screen, it's then going to give us an order summary. So just scroll through this and read this carefully. Make sure that everything you have entered is correct in here. Then we can scroll down and click on next. And then the final step to this is selecting the payment method that we would like to use. So we can go ahead and add that card information, click on I agree, and then click complete and pay. So that is the difference between a sole proprietorship and an LLC, and also how you can set up an LLC with bizee if you do want to go down the path of an LLC. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to smash that like button and tap that subscribe button. And until next time, take it easy.